guess we're being a little critical of Gerulaitis on his return to serve, but when you have a look at the serve that just went down, it's not that easy.
Over to 106 miles an hour.
If you watch McEnroe from this camera position, it's a great position. If you watch McEnroe's racket just before he hits the ball, you'll get an idea of where he's going to serve it.
Nuke in that doubles match that you and Stolle played McEnroe and Fleming. That's the first time you'd played against McEnroe, wasn't it?
No, I had played him before, but not for a couple of years. I thought I could pick his serve all right. I was standing on the first court returning, but Fred had a lot of trouble on the backhand court. He was hitting him wide with the slider and then coming down the middle.
30-15.
You see that? I mean, that's just like a really good baseball pitcher.
That one went over to 111 miles an hour.
First serve.
When McEnroe serves to Gerulaitis' forehand, he's more apt to hit it with more velocity because it has to be a little bit flatter normally to get it on that side. When he breaks it out wide, to break it wide, he has to put more spin on it. And there's our radar gun. It's giving us those speeds.
Courtesy of Tennis Magazine.
Good shot by Gerulaitis off a tough serve.
And he made a good move then. He moved forward to make the return.
McEnroe slipped. He didn't twist an ankle or something.
It was not a very graceful fall as his father looks on.
Looks like his left ankle. Of course, that could be a terribly bad break for John McEnroe. I mean, a break of the ankle. Let's see if we can see what happens. Gerulaitis makes his half volley deep, come right towards McEnroe, and he just started to go down. I really couldn't see what happened.
It looked as if, to me, Tony, his right ankle got trapped underneath as he fell backwards.
30-40.
And Mr. and Mrs. McEnroe, concerned, obviously. Trainer Bill Norris came out to check on John McEnroe, but John said he was okay. He's trying to walk it over. It's his left ankle.
It is his left ankle, yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that, because he's hot, obviously warmed up, it won't hurt too much now, but it could really be a problem for tomorrow.
You want your injury time?
How much time does he have, Tony?
I'm not sure what the rule is
Well, you
Pat,
have
in terms of time. There is an injury timeout, Nuke, right?
Yeah, you have 30 seconds between the points, and the umpire just said to him, and he was correct, he said, Mr. McEnroe, do you want to take some injury time? But you are allowed, I think it might be 3 or 4 minutes of injury time.
We make specific rules like that when I was captain of the Davis Cup team. We do that with the opposing captain so you know exactly what can take place. It appears to be okay.
Yeah.
This is break point for Gerulaitis. Best chance he's had. Second serve.
He's okay.
And Vitas down the other end is grabbing his leg and
He said,
saying,
maybe,
I'm injured, I'm injured.
he said, maybe you ought to get a screen guild card if you can act like that. I stand around and watch the guy limp around, work off the ankle injury, then he comes charged in the net like he's been shot out of a gun. Gerulaitis didn't like the call. First serve's at fault.
tonight at 7, only on ESPN Classic.
Gerulaitis up 3-2 in the fourth. McEnroe leads 2-1.
Important game for Gerulaitis. He's gotten the service.
Please take your
Can't let
seats.
down now, get careless, and he can't get too cautious. Good shot. Leaders is saying, see that crosswind coming in there. This was on the last court change. McEnroe not too pleased with the way things were going. Back live, love 15. First serve at fault. Wide.
Love 30.
Gerulaitis getting in trouble on his serve.
I hear so many times that the best time to break back after you've been broken.
Good quick hands by Gerulaitis at the
15,
net.
30.
That was a nice
30
deep serve
all.
then. He needs another one of them right here.
Gerulaitis serving with the wind at his back. Gets a little more velocity, but it's sometimes harder to get it down into the court. He heard you, Nuke.
40,
Yep,
30.
The last two serves, I think, are the hardest ones he's hit in the match.
106 on that serve, and that's the first time I think he's been over 100 miles an hour on a serve. See McEnroe served twice as many aces as Gerulaitis, 8-4.
Well, that's a great shot. We were mentioning it earlier on that backhand side. McEnroe prepares so well. Side round to the net. Good shoulder turn. Top spins the passing shot down the line, cross court, or comes up with that top spin lob, which you just saw.
It's the first one he's made really in the match. The others he tried have been short.
Advantage Gerulaitis.
So from love 30, Gerulaitis was able to hold on. He leads 4.
If you've ever missed...
Flags up on top don't necessarily tell you what the direction is down on the court.
I remember one year I played Frank Sedgman at Forest Hills in the stadium, and my plan was when he made one volley to go offensive lob because he closed in so close, and I kept looking at the flags on top of the stadium. I kept hitting lousy offensive lobs. Too dumb to realize that the wind was swirling a different way or moving a different way down at court level.
Did you win?
Nope. You had to ask me that, didn't you?
Trying to be journalistic.
Good deep shot by McEnroe. You know, I bet you in his heart, Vitas knows that ball was good. I don't understand why they try to intimidate a linesman like that. Here we go. It's inside the baseline. Their eyes are better than that. Some cups being blown around by the wind. The ball boy picking them up over by where the players sit when they change courts. All of a sudden, McEnroe not serving as well as he had. He's not getting as many first serves in.
Well, that was a good return. The ball was breaking into him. Had to hit this one right off his chest. Came up very high, too. See the racket face turned over there to get the ball down. It was bouncing up so high. Oh, another good return. Wow. He started returning a lot better in this fourth set.
30 all.
What do you think he's doing, Tony, that's making him return serve better?
I think he's stepping into it a little bit more. He's not just standing there flat-footed, and he's been a little more aggressive. I think he's gambling a little bit more. Like the forehand he hit before, he was moving towards the center to take a bit of a chance.
I agree with you. I think that's key, that he's moving forward on the ball.
30 all.
Double fault, and it's break point for Gerulaitis. Obviously, McEnroe doesn't like the call. This could pretty well salt the second set away. Well, you be the judge. It was awfully close, one way or the other. Double faults. 7 for Gerulaitis, 4 for McEnroe, and McEnroe has served more, but double the aces that Gerulaitis has served.
Well, it was there. The cross-court pass was there. He made one about 20 minutes ago off the same shot.
McEnroe got a good first serve in there when he needed it, but Vita still made a good return. What a sensational shot by John McEnroe. Take a look. Now, McEnroe should have gotten his volley away, but he didn't. Now it looks like Gerulaitis wins the point outright. But the foot speed of McEnroe pays off. Now watch this. Good racket preparation on the move. Just shot right out of a cannon. Come back live. It's advantage McEnroe.
Not only is Gerulaitis returning serve better now, but he's starting to get some across court, which we said he had to do. From that backhand side, he's getting it across court, and he's getting some low down on McEnroe's forehand volley.
Deuce.
I don't think McEnroe's forehand volley is as safe as his backhand volley.
Another break point for Gerulaitis. Gerulaitis already has one break in this set. idea of the crowd in the stadium court. Sure can't see any empty seats.
McEnroe.
You can't do better than that.
Gerulaitis leading 4-3 in the fourth set. McEnroe won set number 2 and set number 3. Gerulaitis won the first set 7-5.
You know, we've talked about service percentages and how important it is to get first serves in, but when it's this gusty a day, when you think about it, they're doing a darn good job. The toss gets blown around.
Neither one of them seemed to toss it that high.
They don't toss it much higher than they need it.
I think what happened there, McEnroe wanted to go down the line, and he saw that Gerulaitis was standing there covering it. Forced him into that rather unusual wide shot.
It's wide.
Just missed. 40-15. Crowd starting to get into it a little bit more now.
They want to see a 5-setter.
It looks more and more like they're going to get their wish, too. Gerulaitis leads 5-3.
Gerulaitis leads 5-3.
108 miles an hour on that last serve for Vitas. That's his best of the day.
It's really interesting that he went for 3 sets where he wasn't getting over 100 miles an hour, and all of a sudden the last few games he's 105, 108.
It's an important game for McEnroe because if he holds serve and doesn't manage to break, at least he'd start the final set with his serve. See, Gerulaitis 59% of his first serves, McEnroe 55. And I think, again, with this blustery day, it's not as bad as those percentages might look. It's a tough day to really be a good server.
What percentage is acceptable?
Love 30.
Love 30.
And I'd say 65 to 70% is what you're really shooting for. Mr. and Mrs. McEnroe got to be a little concerned for their son at this stage.
Oh, he went for it.
He really did.
30.
Came off in the last game. He went around one of those second serves, hit a forehand down the line, went for the same shot then.
Excellent serve.
20-30.
Little miss hit by Vitas, and obviously upset with himself. Good chance to, on a short ball, to try to get in.
It was a little tougher than it looked, I think, because it had a lot of topspin on it. It jumped around. The wind probably moved it a bit.
Game McEnroe.
Can Sprite make you a more...
You love tennis.
Gerulaitis will serve at 5-4 in the fourth. There's Marv Richmond, the president of the USTA, and Marv will have a rather important announcement to all of us to make before the women's final start, along with our president of sports, Van Gordon Sauter.
I'll be interested to see what McEnroe's attempt here is on the return, whether he really goes after it or he tries to just get it down low. Obviously, Gerulaitis serving for the set. McEnroe's got to try to break. Unforced errors. McEnroe more in the forehand, Gerulaitis more in the backhand. Long.
15 all.
Well, the one thing Gerulaitis can be sure of, if he doesn't come into the net, McEnroe will. And I think the net is the place to be in this particular game.
McEnroe didn't have time, or at least didn't get set up very well to try that backhand passing shot. Footwork was not good at all. 30-15.
There was a good volley from Gerulaitis. But the return was pretty good.
Double set point for Gerulaitis. This could get him even at 2 sets apiece in this semifinal match.
Game and fourth set, Gerulaitis.
Gerulaitis wins the 4th set as McEnroe lands in Frank Parker's lap.
They should have a seat for him in the champion's box. Sets are 2-all. And Vitas Gerulaitis, father.
Gerulaitis wins the 4th set, 6-4. Sets are 2-all.
Sets are 2-all.
How much now, Tony, does the pressure start to tell on McEnroe? We talked about it at the beginning of the show, the pressure of everyone saying, can he win it 3 times in a row? The first person since Tilden to do it.
Quiet, please.
Ranked #1 in the world. He's won Wimbledon. All the pressure, I think, is on McEnroe right now.
Gerulaitis said that coming into the tournament. He said he's not expected to do well, so not much pressure. We'll see who responds well to the pressure this 5th set.
There's pressure now.
Excellent return by Gerulaitis.
Boy, McEnroe was winning so easily after the 3rd set, you just couldn't imagine it was going to go to 5. But you've got to hand it to Vitas. He's really turned it around.
The key being improved first serve, one thing, and the other return of service better. .5-mile-an-hour first serve from McEnroe.
Here's a great chance for Gerulaitis. 15-30, his second serve. Oh, it was a bad forehand he played from the back of the court. He tried with a lot of topspin, but no depth on the shot at all.
You, the best. No, man.
I think if I were talking to McEnroe now as a coach or something, I'd tell him to pick up the tempo a little bit. His own gait as he moves around the court and be a little more aggressive. Got to start taking charge.
Good shot.
And Gerulaitis was able to get it back cross court with some authority.
Something he didn't do for the first 3 sets.
And we're back at deuce. Sets are 2-all. New Yorker against New Yorker.
Friend against friend.
Sorry, Tony, he's giving McEnroe some trouble running around that second serve, isn't he?
He sure is. Now watch how close he gets to the net for this one right here. Watch where Gerulaitis is. I don't think he's really trying to make that drop volley. It ended up being a short volley. Would have won it anyway, so it's break point for Gerulaitis. Awfully good swinging serve.
109 miles an hour. This is the first game of the 5th set.
That's a pretty fast serve to put a swinger in at 109 miles an hour.
Advantage, Gerulaitis.
Another break point for Gerulaitis. Could put tremendous pressure on the defending champion, John McEnroe, if he's down this early break in the 5th set.
What about that missed volley there, Tony? Nerves?
Well, you talked
Wasn't
about
a
earlier.
difficult one.
He just kept running right on through it. Didn't bend over at all. Looked almost lackadaisical and careless. Three wide serves in a row in that court by McEnroe. The first one, Gerulaitis got cross court for a winner. McEnroe's won the other 2 points. People in the audience calling balk. Missed that by 6 or 8 feet.
Wind bothering him, I guess.
That or somebody talking as he's starting to serve.
Second serve.
Only just went into it. Just took the line.
Very close
So,
to being a double.
Once again, Vitas was going to run around his backhand, hit the forehand. Probably try to do it again. Another volley that I thought was hit rather nervously, but what a good second serve that he put in.
Yeah, it was designed for Gerulaitis running around it, so he said, well, I'll go that way and try to catch him. But Vitas really nailed it. It's another break point.
Now in the ad court, as you mentioned, Trabe, he's gone wide 3 times in a row. See if he comes down the middle now.
Super job by McEnroe to get out of trouble. Gerulaitis made a good deep approach right here. He hesitates, sees it's real deep, in he comes. This volley was hit with some good pace and relatively deep. You see Gerulaitis covering the down the line. The ball goes cross court. And again, it is deuce. McEnroe struggling.
Advantage McEnroe.
Gee, he got that volley late again, too. It was almost behind him when he hit it.
Let. First serve.
Delightful day in New York.
Please take your seats.
5-setter in the semifinals between McEnroe and Gerulaitis.
15 love.
Really, what upsets the players most is the people walking right behind the opponent. If it catches your eye, it can really lose your concentration.
Let. First serve.
McEnroe slipped. See, after the return here, see what happens to him when he tries to recover. He slipped there, put his hand down, tried to stop and get back, almost fell down again. And this is dry, hard surface.
Shot.
30-15.
How do you slip like that, Nuke, on this kind of a surface? Is it the?
I haven't seen him do it before. He's slipped twice today, and
He slipped in one of the other matches, coming into the net, went down.
40-15.
At least at this moment, the tide has swung in Gerulaitis' favor. He is cruising along. He is playing better, serving better, returning better. McEnroe is struggling.
Makes it 1-all in the 5th.
Games are 1-all.
Gerulaitis picking up the pace on his serve. The radar gun tells us he's consistently serving over 100 miles an hour now. McEnroe, 71 first serves in play, has won 47 of those points. 1-all in the 5th.
Now 15.
shows you the strength of McEnroe's second serve. That last percentage we just saw up 54 second serves in, and he's won 30 of those points. Whereas Gerulaitis on his second serve is only winning about a third of the points.
Love 30.
Again, McEnroe struggling on his serve. He grabs his throat, says, "I'm choking."
I don't think there's any doubt about it. His last service game, he played 3 or 4 volleys, which were very uncharacteristic for him. They were not well hit volleys at all, bad errors, and now 2 simple errors in this game.
I need you to find these people.
Sunday night at 9, only on ESPN Classic.
Fifteen, 30. Fifteen, 40.
Double break point for Gerulaitis. Tremendous chance here for Gerulaitis.
And at the moment, McEnroe is in a lot of trouble because not only is he fighting Gerulaitis, but I think he's having to fight himself. He put his hand up to his throat a while ago and said, "I'm choking." I think he really meant it.
John's parents on the left of that picture.
Again, he slows things down.
But within the 30-second time limit, so no one can really argue about it.
Let. First serve.
This is a time I think McEnroe ought to spin the first serve and get in, back it up well, start put a little more spin on him, forget a little pace for the time being, and get a higher percentage in. Only 54% right now. Not good.
Consistently going down.
See, that's not even close. That was halfway down the net. So he's having some timing problems. Great play by McEnroe. Good coverage at the net right here. This is a tough one. Couldn't really do much with it. Just try to recover. Didn't get it deep, but he guessed cross court. Now he guesses cross court. And boy, he really clipped off that volley. It is still break point for Gerulaitis. Not many first serves going in now.
If you were right before, Tony, he's lost all his rhythm at the moment on the first serve.
Just long.
Deuce.
Take another look, and Gerulaitis didn't hit this real hard, but he directed it well. McEnroe chose to let it go because he realized he had no play on the ball.
Well,
Looked like it might have just barely been over the baseline. Again, it's hard to tell on that replay.
It looked like it was out. His body blocked our view for just a second. It's deuce.
See if McEnroe spins a couple of serves here instead of trying to drive it.
you know, that last point, that was a heck of a second serve.
He took a little extra time, too, so we're getting ready.
Another good second serve. Deep in the court, right at the body.
Also a good half volley. Had some authority because Gerulaitis did a good job, got the return down. You would like to, or expect that you might get a little more defensive return for your opponent, but that wasn't the case. McEnroe now has the ad, trying to go ahead 2-1 in the final set.
McEnroe.
That might have surprised everybody, including certainly Gerulaitis.
Bob Vila tells homeowners how to get out from under credit card debt.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila, and these are offers to get credit cards. It's pretty
Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
18,892 in attendance today. About 5 times they set the record.
15 love.
That's not the Tennis Magazine speed gun.
That's also not a Minox, you know. Ball went up in the crowd.
Vitas is right here. A lady who caught. Just about to hit the ball. The guy throws the ball out of the stand.
The umpire didn't see the ball thrown in.
What are you talking about? Who's seeing? Well, none of the players saw it. He couldn't have possibly seen he was watching my ball. That was after the point. How can you call a lead if you didn't see it? Why? You didn't see it. You didn't see it. How can we call a lead?
That is our microphone he just massaged. You think Gerulaitis is right, Nick?
Yeah, he definitely saw the ball come back.
But did you see it? That's the. Then how can we play it if you did not see it? But you did not see it, so how can you call it? I don't know. Can you answer me that question?
Time warning, McEnroe.
Time warning against McEnroe.
Can you give me a warning? When did the 30 seconds start? But then how can you give me a warning before it started?
We say 30 seconds.
We're not permitted to argue?
We have about 18 seconds left.
Well, you didn't see it. I just want to know how you can do that. Can you answer that? I just want you to answer that question.
Hold on, my linesman. They confirmed the ball came out early.
McEnroe might have broken his racket when he hit that microphone. He took a look at it on the way out.
Mr. McEnroe has a broken string.
Courtesy of CBS microphones.
He has a broken string. We have a broken microphone.
Bit unfair to Vitas Gerulaitis at this stage.
I don't think there's any question but that he did see the ball come out of the stands during the point.
And that's an automatic let.
It is 2-1 McEnroe in the 5th set. Gerulaitis
15 love.
15 love.
So after all that, the point is replayed.
All.
Now we're right back to where we started. Well, the big thing here for Vitas after all that discussion is you've got to keep his concentration. So it makes it tough when someone stops playing, complains and that, and you're just sort of left out in the cold waiting for the action to start again. I sometimes feel, Tony, that, you know, in a situation like that, if someone's going to go up and and talk at the net, you ought to go up yourself and get involved in it so that you stay in the action.
When I go, classic.
Double break point for McEnroe. Still a break point.
Game McEnroe.
So McEnroe with a backhand up the line has broken
please.
serve and leads 3-1 in the final set.
Tony, do you think that delay
McEnroe leads
had anything to do with that?
3-1.
I wouldn't be surprised. It was quite a long delay. Gerulaitis had things rolling fairly well. Didn't get many good first serves in and missed a couple balls. That is now history. McEnroe serving at 3-1 in the final set. Good shot.
15 love.
See if Vitas let this one go, thinking it was going out, or whether he couldn't reach it.
I think it was just too good.
Well, it sure landed right in the corner. 15 love.
Good serve.
30
Nuke,
love.
did you ever do anything like get involved with the crowd or argue to psych yourself up?
No, but I think that I really think that John does do this, you know, to let off steam, takes the pressure. He was starting to choke a couple of games ago. He looks like he's got his rhythm back now, and I think an argument gets all the nervousness out of him.
.106 miles an hour on that ace.
I would certainly, if I was playing out there, though, I would have gone up to the net, I think, and got involved in the argument.
Pardon me, lady.
Can you believe the price of popcorn?
It's a crime against humanity. And it's 7 only on ESPN Classic.
Pat Summerall with Tony Trabert and John Newcomb. John McEnroe and Vitas Gerulaitis. Men's semifinal. It is 4-1 McEnroe in the 5th. Gerulaitis about to serve.
Vitas got to get it geared up now. He's down a break. He was on a pretty good roll there at the end of the 4th set, early in the 5th set. Things have changed around for whatever reasons, and time is running out.
It's amazing how things swing around in sport, isn't it? The first 2 service games of this set that McEnroe had, Vitas had 5 break points. Yeah, here he trails 4-1. Super volley.
30 love.
Boy, look how low he picks this one up to the ground. McEnroe played a heck of a cross-court shot.
Serve took a funny bounce. Might have hit the line.
You might see Gerulaitis maybe swing one wide here and try to come in behind. He's had some success going wide.
That was a low toss.
So he took a double pump there, Sam. He got ready, he was about to serve, then he stopped, started his routine again. I don't know what that was about.
It's a good second serve.
It was indeed. McEnroe had been running around hitting forehands on return, so he went in that side and got away with it.
I don't think there's any question, but that the wind was bothering Vitas. Because again, it's picked up a little bit. Seems to be at McEnroe's back.
And you might have seen McEnroe grab his throat. I choke. Just get tentative, nervous about the situation. Be surprised if John doesn't serve and get into that net right away. Good hustle by Gerulaitis.
15 all.
Got there in time to take a sort of a swipe at the ball. He couldn't really make a decent stroke.
Hasn't tried to lob too much, Trim.
No, he really has. Of course, that kind of a situation might have tried to flick a defensive lob up in the air because he was really out of the point, but he has not lobbed very much.
One of the problems was lobbing out there today because of the wind swirling around. Very hard to judge the ball. Hit it hard or soft.
Then McEnroe sort of did a double pump. He got ready to serve his second serve and backed off. Started again, ended up serving a double. Nice and quiet here today, Patrick.
We've been talking all day about that wind, and that wind direction will have the airplanes from LaGuardia going in the opposite direction. So it's not all bad.
Could be one of Vitas's last chances.
It's not a bad one. 15-30 and looking at the second serve.
Shot.
Double break point for Gerulaitis.
The Jimmy Swaggart telecast.
Serve.
Maybe he'll try to run around it. He's been having some success with that.
He did.
McEnroe thought so, so he kicked the ball into Gerulaitis' forehand. Might have surprised Vitas a little bit. Still break point.
Well, McEnroe's just been coming up with some great second serves on break points.
And with the wind at your back, that's not always easy. It can carry out on you a little bit.
See how deep this one is.
I bet you it swings to the backhand side.
Good serve.
Gerulaitis only angry at himself, letting it get away. Here's a short ball, and in he comes. Didn't do anything with that volley right there, nor with that one, and he couldn't recover.
The last volley he hit the forehand one, it was there, wasn't it, Tony, to angle away for a winner?
The first one was even there to do more than he did with it, Nuke. He was very tentative with it.
I don't blame him.
And no, it is pressure time, but you got to take a chance when you're behind. McEnroe serving at deuce.
Well, McEnroe wins this match. He's got his second serve to thank for it.
56 on the board. Yeah.
Another good one.
Well, that was a good shot from Gerulaitis because I don't think he was in a position to really play a passing shot. Instead of doing that, he drove the ball back low. Low on the forehand volley side, right at the body. Tough shot to volley.
Again, break point for Gerulaitis.
And again, McEnroe slows things down.
Gerulaitis' first service percentage 61% to just 53 for McEnroe. Certainly not a good serving day for McEnroe. Got it on the second bounce. An excellent serve by John McEnroe.
About halfway through the third set, McEnroe's percentage, I believe, was around 62%.
Been going down since then.
And Gerulaitis' was lower, and it's coming up.
Well, that was a good first serve then.
McEnroe's not just missing a lot of first serves. He's missing a lot of them by a huge margin. He's hit some down below, halfway down below the net, and that ball was 4 or 5 feet long. That's a great distance for a good player to miss a serve. Another break point for Vitas Gerulaitis.
Again, Vitas made the return. He had the choice of where to hit that return then, and he went at the body on the forehand side low. He's been getting some errors out of that.
Game over.
Oh my gosh, what a break for McEnroe. Vitas says, oh man, what do I have to do? Excellent serve by McEnroe right here, and not a good return. Vitas did a good job to get it back, but it came right in at McEnroe. Gusty wind, the ball ticked the top of the net and rolled down. Unfortunately for Gerulaitis, it was on his side, so again, it is deuce.
The ball hit the top of the net twice before it came over.
Another
Advantage,
chance
McEnroe.
for Gerulaitis that time. Couldn't pull it off. Now McEnroe has the ad. Has a chance to go ahead 5-2 in this 5th and final set. Been playing at least 3.5 hours.
Excuse me. ESPN Classic.
That was a smart play by Gerulaitis. Instead of volleying the ball low down in front of him, be defensive. He stopped, backed off, let the ball come up, and then was able to drive a backhand. McEnroe's job here is not to worry too much about this one, but concentrate on his serve coming up. If he can get even here at 30-all, knock a couple of winners off, then work on it. But he has the service break he needs.
9 aces for McEnroe, 6 for Vitas.
Not a very confident swing at that second serve. The ball might have been blown around a little bit, but he didn't really go after it. It's 30-all.
Now I think McEnroe will be worrying about this game, Tony.
Right, exactly. At your 30-all, you work as hard as you can. Double fault's just about even. It's a lot of double faults, so we are in a 5-set match on a windy day. And just like that, it's match point. The wind blew that ball all over the place.
It had to.
Wind did move it, but it was a bit of a nervous shot. But you got to feel a little sorry for Vitas. He's trailing 5-2 in the 5th, down match point, and he's had 9 points to break McEnroe's serve in this set and hasn't been able to do it.
Terrific second serve by Gerulaitis. Now Gerulaitis has the advantage.
We talked about McEnroe having to live off his second serve. Now Gerulaitis is having to do the same thing.
It's 5-3.
And back with the shoe tying trick again.
Gerulaitis with his back to the wall. When you're trying to break serve, this first point is a real key one.
John McEnroe in the near court, Vitas Gerulaitis at the other end. Sets are 2-all. McEnroe serving in the 5th at 5-3 and 15 love.
Let first serve.
Gerulaitis still trying to step into the ball in the return, which is good. He's got to make some things happen. He can't hope for McEnroe to make errors. Got to produce.
Very windy now.
Second serve really took Gerulaitis all the way out of court. He was beyond the double sideline when he made contact. McEnroe closing in on this semifinal match. This will move him into the finals against the winner between Borg and Connors.
And try to win it 3 times in a row.
40 love.
And now Vitas doesn't think the serve is good. Triple match point coming up.
Not very much of an argument, which tells me he doesn't really think it was out. Just hoping. Vitas gives some mock applause, but that wasn't the linesperson that he thinks missed the other one. It was the person in the back. Oh boy, what a basic sitter that McEnroe had there.
That's called chip and charge.
Oh,
just chip the ball back and charge.
And pray a lot.
Well, it helps too if you stick your tongue out at your opponent as you run in, Tony.
If you have that much time.
Still double match point for McEnroe.
Game, set, and match, McEnroe.
And Gerulaitis thinks the ball was out. The umpire has already said. The umpire now is calling the score. That means it's over. McEnroe still waiting at the net for Vitas to come up.
You missed the ball over there. There was a foot over the line.
Scores 5-7, 6-3, 6-2, 4-6, 6-3.
McEnroe still standing there waiting to shake hands. Vitas came back and shook his hand. Can't blame McEnroe. Unfortunate that the match ends on a controversial call. But John McEnroe, the defending champion, will take another look and see if we can tell. High volley. Looked good. Looked like it hit right on the sideline. And we certainly apologize for the profanity that you might have heard coming from Vitas Gerulaitis, who now exits the court in anger. But John McEnroe, the defending champion, is in the finals.
This is ESPN Classic.
Vitas was a great friend and was the best player of all the players I knew the best. It was almost like a brother for me, and we spent a lot of time on the court and off the court together. And I mean, during those years, we both played on the circuit and we both were top players. It was great years. I mean, it was just great being around Vitas. I mean, he was, an unbelievable person and, you know, well respected all over the world and a great personality. People loved him.
Vitas was like a big brother that I never had, in a sense. He was very charismatic, very friendly towards other people, very popular with players as well as fans. Energy just inexhaustible. Sort of seen out at night spots, so sort of was in the papers for that type of thing as well. So it was just sort of something that brought tennis up in terms of people thinking about tennis, because tennis is not one of the biggest sports in America. And so he added to the popularity of it. Playing guitar was probably his biggest love. He introduced me to that. He pretty much introduced me to everything that I do.
We made enough money so that we could live comfortably, go wherever we wanted to go, but we kind of had our own little rat pack. I know McEnroe and I used to go to all the title fights when Ali was at his prime. Borg and I would go to the best soccer matches in Europe. It was just, we were really like brothers, and it was really a family. And I know that if I ever got in trouble, I know one of those guys would come and help me and vice versa. What happened after my career was, you know, I kind of started believing my press. And I used to try to stay out later and later and still win matches, which I did, but eventually it caught up to me. And I think after I stopped playing, it wasn't the drug and the booze, but I was just kind of in a funk, in a depression, because the high that you got playing in front of people, entertaining, nothing will ever replace that.
Always the playboy.
Everywhere I turn, he's had influence on. Even broadcasting, which is something that I didn't really think that I would entertain. Hearing Vitas do it and giving it an edge that was much more up to date, at least in my opinion.
Thanks a lot, Fred. Bad luck. Andre, what was it during the changeovers? The music was bothering you, the atmosphere or something?
You know, people come out here to watch tennis.
We all have to learn from our mistakes, and God knows I made them, and Vitas did, Bjorn, Jim, you name it. His biggest problem and his biggest positive are probably both the same, always trying to make other people happy instead of himself a little bit.
It was just great being around Vitas. I mean, he was an unbelievable person and, you know, well-respected all over the world and a great personality. People loved him. They loved to see him play, and we just had a great time.